Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and for those new here, welcome. My name's Alani and I hope you guys enjoy today's video. My husband is a huge Pokemon fan and I wanted to make him some decor for his office, so this is what I did. The things you will need are printouts of your favorite Pokemon. One printout is from Johto Journeys and the other one is from Indigo League. And the last printout is the Pokemon logo itself. You will also need some black cardstock paper. This is 11 by 8.5, and then I got a pack of 4 frames, 11 by 8.5 as well. And the last thing you'll need, of course, are Pokemon cards. We chose to use energy types and these beautiful colorful ones. And then for the Pokemon logo itself, we wanted to use some Pokemon cards showing the backing of them. But instead of using the American version, we used the Japanese one, so this is the difference between those two. And also for the last thing, we just used some colorful dark Pokemon cards. I used an X-Acto knife and a small pair of scissors to cut out all the Pokemon and the logo. It took a long time to cut out each of the Pokemon just because they have like a lot of little spikes and their little fingers and details, and I didn't want to bore you guys with all that footage, but I also didn't want to mess it up. So it's like an hour and a half of just me cutting things out, so I kind of skipped ahead for you guys, but this is what the end result looked like and I really loved it. I thought it was super cute. And then all I did was put that on the black cardstock and outline that with a pencil, and then I got to cutting again with the X-Acto knife to cut those pieces out. Also for the Pokemon logo itself, I did cut that out of the piece of paper, and then I cut the yellow out of the blue part, and then I traced that on there. So it's kind of like the yellow is where the black would be. After I cut everything out, it was time to get my frame ready. This little like cutout part, it reminds me of the Who's That Pokemon? You guys know what I'm talking about. If you guys have watched the show, you guys know what I'm talking about. But it was giving me that vibe and I was really liking it, and I just kept looking at it and saying, Who's that Pokemon? In my head. But here I am just putting their energy types behind each of their own pictures, and I was trying to make them fit and they weren't fitting at first, and I could see there's like little gaps. And then my husband told me, like, if you want to, you can just cut them. And I was like, I can cut these cards? And he was like, yeah, go for it. So I was able to make everything fit when I cut them. So all I did was put the picture of the cutouts of them on top of the white part of the frame, and then I was able to use double-sided tape to tape down the cards, and anywhere there was like a gap missing, all I did was get another card, cut that, and then put that down next to it. I really wanted their energy symbols to be right smack dab in the middle of them, but if you guys do a different size or you guys don't mind them being a little bit off, I'm sure that you wouldn't have to cut any cards, but this just worked out best for us because we didn't mind cutting the cards. After I put down Pikachu's card, I thought it fit perfectly, but then I tried putting Squirtle's card and they were overlapping each other, so I just had to do some quick cuts with some scissors. I just wanted none of the cards to overlap each other and it to lay flat, just so it didn't look like it was really bumpy underneath or that one part of the frame was being touched more by the cardstock than the other. After I laid down that card, some white was still showing, so I just had to cut one more last card. I cut it down with my paper cutter and I thought it would fit perfectly, but it was still sticking out a little bit, but it wasn't enough for me to use the paper cutter again. So I just trimmed off the excess with my scissors and then taped that down. And then I put tape all around the entire white portion of the backing, and then I was able to put down the cardstock and it looked perfect. The process of putting these cards in this frame was a little bit different because there was only 3 Pokemon and they were all in a row instead of all spaced out like the other one. So all I had to do was put down a bunch of double-sided tape, and then I just placed the cards where I wanted them to be in line. I did want the most colorful parts of the cards to be in the middle of where the cutouts were, so I just had to maneuver that a little bit. And then there was this part where a little bit of white was showing on the top of where Chikorita is, so I just cut 2 other cards to fill in that gap, and then it was done. And of course, the last step was to put a bunch of double-sided tape all over the white, and then I just put down the black cardstock and smoothed it out with my hands, and then I put it in the frame. So I'm extremely sad about this, but I lost all of the footage of me doing the Pokemon logo frame. So all I did was line up a bunch of double-sided tape on all of those Japanese Pokemon cards, and then I put the cardstock on top of it and put it in the frame. That one was the absolute easiest one, and I really love the way it turned out. This last and final frame is different from all the rest because I am not using any of the backing from the frame, and also this one has no cutting whatsoever. It's just the black cardstock and a bunch of Pokemon cards. My husband had chosen a bunch of Umbreon cards, so there's 3 Umbreon cards, 4 Japanese Pokemon cards, and then 2 Psychic Energy cards. I know that Umbreon is not the purple Psychic Energy, he's a dark card, but it just looked really pretty and we didn't have any dark energy cards at the time, so we just decided to go with that one because the purple really contrasted against the black. And then all I did was put 2 pieces of tape on the back of every card, and then I laid them out the way I wanted them, and it was done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like it, share, subscribe, and if you have any ideas for any future DIYs you'd like me to try, please let me know and I'll try to get those out for you. If you guys do recreate this, please tag me at Alani DLC because I would love to see any recreations you guys make. And to let me know that you made it to the end of the video, please comment below what your favorite Pokemon is. I think mine is either Pikachu or Charmander. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next time.